Good afternoon, Aggies. I would like to welcome you back to the North Carolina A&T Weekly Monday Luncheon. North Carolina A&T is coming off a 37-14 loss to Villanova. This week we head up to Delaware to play the number 8 ranked team in the nation in the Delaware Blue Hens. With us today, our special guest, we have with us kickoff returner Tamon Cook, and also we have with us Anthony Harrison. But before we get to them, we have the man of the hour, our head coach, Mr. Vincent Brown.
It is a great day in Aggie land. My wife actually asked me this morning before I left the house if I was going to open this press conference with that. And I said, absolutely. Why wouldn't I? I get to coach these wonderful young men at the number 1 HBCU in the land, one of the nation's premier institutions. And nothing has changed in terms of our purpose and our goals, which is to educate our kids, to build a team that is capable of consistently competing for championships. I shared with our team after our game Saturday that I understand the hurt, the pain, the disappointment of losing because I know how hard they work. I've been there, been a part of teams 1-15, 2-14, 5-11. And I understand that there's a necessary process that we have to go through. There's a growth phase in terms of building our culture in order to get to the point where we can consistently compete for championships. You may not be able to see it. I can see it internally. We can see the changes happening. Our challenge and our task as coaches is to make sure that we're doing everything in our power to put our players, our kids in the best position to be successful each and every Saturday. We talk about culture. Bill Walsh, Super Bowl winning coach, said, the culture precedes the results. And I think we're building a strong culture and foundation that'll reap benefits for us down the road. My old head coach, Bill Parcells, said, always think players first and not plays. Understanding there is no waiver wire in college football. We've got who we got, whether you're a non-scholarship player or not. We've got who we got, and we play with who we have. And for us, we have to make sure we're building our systems and our schemes around the guys that are going to play each and every Saturday. I'm proud of our guys, the way they fought. Defensively, our guys played to the very, very end, getting third down stops, getting them off the field. Offensively, we know we have some challenges and things we got to improve on, but our guys never quit. They kept playing, and some of the things that are going to be important to building a championship caliber team are still in full display. First, not beating ourselves. We are one of the least penalized teams in the nation. Not turning the ball over. We're in the top 10% of teams and fewest turnovers in the country. And so we talk about those things, eliminating the things that cause you to lose games first and foremost. We know we have work to do. There's no one more disappointed than I am. I expect to win every single game. With that being said, we know we have some challenges in front of us, and we're just going to keep building one game at a time, okay? We go up to Delaware this week to take on a very, very talented Delaware team. But it doesn't matter what happened last week. All that matters is what happens the next play, the next game, and that's where our focus is. So with that, I'll take any questions that you might have.
It doesn't get any easier. How do you keep the morale and the energy high with these players? You know, what message you continue to give to them and just trying to ensure them each week, you know, we can win.
Yeah, I think everybody on our team and our organization knows that the CAA is a very challenging conference. But when we talk about building the culture, it isn't just whether you win the game. Like, we give out weekly awards, we recognize the efforts of our players, win, lose, or draw, because it's about the process. And we tell them to stay focused on the process. Do your job one play at a time. Don't look at the scoreboard. Don't worry about the things that happened in the past. Only worry about the things that are in front of you in that particular moment. And I think our kids have done a great job of staying focused, staying together, knowing that we still have 6 games to play. And so we're focused on how do we get our best efforts in order to beat Delaware.
Coach, you mentioned after the game, you were quoted saying that you scored passing attack. There were things that you knew that you guys could do a little differently to get things fixed. Can you elaborate on what you identified and what you could do?
Yeah, so part of, improving our passing game is becoming more efficient. And efficiency happens when you get the ball out of your hands and into the hands of your playmakers. And, I thought, early on, too much of our passing game, the routes were too far downfield. The quarterback's got to hold the ball. So we made a concerted effort. We talked about it. How do we get the ball into, a Tamon Cook, and a Monty Jones? Get the ball into their hands quickly and allow their athleticism to take place. And so, that's what we're looking to see on display Saturday.
Coach, Luke Williams from the Black College Sports Page, what were you most disappointed about coming out of Saturday's game?
The mistakes that we made that allowed the game to end the way it did. The miscue on kickoff return that gave them the ball back when literally, if we had just been able to fair catch the ball, we would have gotten the ball at midfield with 2 timeouts in a minute and a half, an opportunity to produce points. And we were going to get the ball to start the second half. Again, another opportunity to produce points. And so, the mistakes that we made really kind of set us back, and we're focused on fixing those things.
I know you talked about not getting the ball thrown over the head. As a little kid, I know I found out from the press box, he came into the game averaging 27 yards per catch. And he pretty much did that. Why was he able to get behind big guys like that a couple of times?
Yeah, so really 2 plays. One, it was a 3rd and 5 situation. We call a zone coverage. Defensive back jumps a short route, and they throw it over our head, over the top. Not the way we play zone coverage, not the way we're supposed to play zone coverage. The other explosive play pass, and it happens. We're in man coverage. They throw the 50-50 ball. DB falls down, receiver catches the ball, touchdown. That play, I told our kid, hey, don't worry about that. That stuff happens to the very best players. It's the other things, jumping short routes when, we play defense coverage, inside out, high to low, that we got to get fixed.
How big a loss was Aaron Harris this past Saturday, and how long is he going to be out?
Yeah, we were down a couple of guys in the secondary, and, Aaron, obviously starting corner. It impacts what we do, but like I just said earlier, it's the next man up mentality, and we got who we got. I can't line up out there, so we play with the players that we have, and we need to make sure we're doing things structurally that put them in the best position to have a chance to succeed.
Did you honestly expect to have more depth at this point in the season when you first looked at your roster?
Well, when we came in January, we knew there were some areas that we were a little short on depth, and we were unable to fill those needs in the spring. And it was just a matter of, scholarship numbers and kids, whether you could get them admitted into school. And so we knew there were going to be some challenges depth-wise based on position. And, we just got to roll with it until we can continue to recruit and build the roster the way we believe it needs to be built in order to compete for a championship.
Hey, Coach, how do you evaluate the play of quarterback?
Well, we had the ball for 3 plays in the first quarter. Hard to evaluate him, on that. Limited plays the entire first half. I think Kevin is a very talented young man. He's scored 3 touchdowns with his legs in just the last 2 games. He's got some development and some growth there. And that's our job as coaches to make sure we're doing the things necessary for all of our quarterbacks. If you look at our quarterback room, none of them have played much, if at all. And so we have youth at the position, whereas you look around the CAA, the top teams have experience at the quarterback spot.
And follow up on that. Obviously, the lack of passing yards is a concern. Have you identified that as being a quarterback, wide receiver, or line, or a combination of the 3?
It is all of the above. And we talk to our guys all the time. The mistakes are the accumulation of a dropped pass here, a misread here, a missed block here, and before you know it, it adds up to a lot of missed opportunities. So it's a combination of all that we're trying to make sure our guys understand that those mistakes are the things that usually cause you to lose games, and to work on fixing those things.
Coach Brown, in terms of Delaware, how would you describe the scheme that they run offensively, defensively, and what may be the biggest key to success for the Aggies this week?
Yeah, so offensively, they are a spread style, mostly 11 and 12 personnel team. They'll give you every formation imaginable. They have every gadget play imaginable. They pass the ball with great efficiency. They can run the football. They have skilled players that they do a great job of getting the ball into the hands of their skilled players. I think, Coach Carty's done a great job of building their system out offensively. Defensively, Manny Rojas is a very talented defensive coordinator. They're primarily 3 down. They play robber coverage, so they have a middle safety that makes a lot of plays in the run game, and they're really one of the better pass defenses in the conference so far this year. So they're a top-ranked team for a reason.
And I know you've played a difficult schedule so far this year. Is there anything about maybe surviving or getting through that tough slate they think, will better prepare you for a big game like this?
Yeah, so again, we go into every game with the mindset that we're going in to win this game, and we feel like we can compete and win every single game. At the end of the games, when we do our recap and our evaluations on why we lost the game, we see the specific things that need to be addressed. I see it. We know the deficiencies that we have, and we're trying to work around as best as we can at this point of the season around those deficiencies. I was asked a question earlier on the CAA call, what is the biggest challenge coming into the conference, and how do we build a team, a program capable of competing for championships? And the answer is simple. It is always about recruiting. It is always about recruiting, getting the right kind of young men that want to get a great education and that want to and can help you compete for championships.
Coach, from a coaching staff perspective, I know it's only 5 games in, but that's 50% of the season. And right now, we probably have statistically one of the worst passing offenses in the country. Have there been any consideration on maybe shaking up the staff or having reassign play calling duties? Has that been the thought process?
No. We are unified in our purpose. I think it would do a disservice to our players to start moving guys around and start reaching and grabbing to see if this guy can call it differently. You know, when we lose games, we lose collectively. It is me offensively, defensively, special teams, you know, the players' execution. It is not just one aspect.
Coach Brown, ideally, are you a guy who favors running the ball a lot as opposed to passing? Is the passing numbers in terms of attempts, does that represent a philosophy that you have, or is it being dictated by the personnel about the opportunities that the defense gives you?
Yeah, we want to be able to run the football, but you know, this isn't the old style Army Navy option where you run it 75 times and throw it 4 times. I think we'd like to be somewhat balanced in our run pass ratio. And, you know, if you don't develop a passing game, people will just outnumber you in the box and dare you to throw the football. And so you need to be able to throw the football to get them to loosen their coverage and reduce the number of hats that you have to block in the box.
But that's where my question is going. Is there part of it just to increase the number of pass attempts?
Absolutely. Yeah, we can't go into, you know, the half with 7 pass attempts. It's not going to work. So being balanced doesn't mean being 50-50 run-pass ratio. It means we are a run-oriented team, and then we're making people respect our passing game by being able to throw the ball efficiently to get first downs, and then occasionally take our shot passes down the field.
Coach, I saw a stat of Cook, the kick returner, I think leading the nation in a couple of major stats, kick return wise. For those that maybe don't know much about him, could you kind of give us an idea of maybe what makes him unique compared to other players you've coached or, you know, seen play against you?
Yeah, so he's got incredible short space quickness. He's got excellent long speed, and probably the most underrated part of this is the vision to see the openings. And so, you know, our guys on the kickoff return, we call Showtime, have done a good job of blocking for him, but he's got vision to know where to hit it, to get it into the alley. He's got the speed to make people miss down the field, and he's got long speed to outrun people as the play develops further down the field.
Have you ever happened to get a 40 time on him?
I have not personally timed him, but he's fast. He's really, really fast. And we've had a number of scouts in. You know, I always talk about, hey, our kick returner's an elite guy. And like you said, he's leading the nation right now in kickoff returns. And not only does he do that, he covers kicks on the punt team. You'll see him go down, and he's the first one down there making the tackle on the punt team also. So really talented young man.
Coach, on special teams, when you have a kickoff return with somebody who's gotten to the box a couple times, is there a special way to coach the blocking so you don't get these penalties and bring stuff back? Is there an emphasis on how you have to block to give them a chance?
Oh, absolutely. We always, you know, we focus all the time on the fundamentals of how we get back, how we set our drops, our drop angles, and giving our returner, who's elite, a chance to get the return started.
Do you know what the percentage is of how many penalties that we've got on kickoff percentages?
I don't, but it's not very many. We haven't had very many penalties this year. Like I said earlier, we're one of the least penalized teams in the country. I think we're 16th out of 122 teams in terms of penalties.
As far as Delaware, I know they probably have one of the highest attendances every year on FCS level. What's it going to be like to go up to that environment?
Yes, it should be a great environment. You know, if you love college football and you love the crowd, the noise, the ability to go into a hostile environment and block out all the noise and just focus on your job, I think our guys will be excited about going up and playing, because part of this development process is, if you're going to be one of the best teams in the country, you need to play the best teams and measure yourself so you can go back and say, here's some areas we need to improve on.
No room in the press box. You can ask them to expand that.
No room in the press box.
Tight press box.
Yeah.
Coach, I know this team has had a couple different instances of playing the program for the first time. Is there anything about unfamiliarity that you think, could play a factor in these games?
I don't think so. I mean, we study the opponents. I've coached against, this group of guys. I know, like I said, they're going to give you every formation imaginable. So as we built our defense out, having answers to unusual formations and all of the trickery that goes along with it, offensively, hey, how are you going to block the middle safety? That's the biggest question. And so I don't think there's going to be any magic to beating them. It's going to boil down to, execution and fundamentals.
How bad was you beating last year?
It was a close game. We had to hang on to the very end to win it. But, we eliminated explosive plays. We said, let's take away the explosive play pass, make them earn things as they try to march the ball down the field, and it worked for us. And that'll be our message. Again, we do not want to give up explosive play passes. We want offenses to earn every single thing that they get.
As far as receivers, is Cook probably your most trusted wide receiver also? Or who's like the number one receiver you identify?
Well, I mean, with the struggles that we've had throwing the football, it's hard to say because we haven't been able to push the ball down the field enough. And again, our challenge and our messaging this week and going forward is to find ways to get the ball into his hands. And like we've said, hey, toss it to him, pitch it to him, throw it to him, hand it to him. Just get the ball in his hands.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure.
All right, Coach told you all you need to know about our outstanding kickoff returner. So we're going to bring him up to the podium now, Mr. Tamon Cook. What's up for questions?
Okay, introduce yourself. Tell us where you're from.
My name is Tamon Cook. I'm from Bluefield, Virginia.
And where, Virginia?
Bluefield.
Bluefield. Explain. I'm sorry. Take us through the kickoff return that you took to the house. Looks like you started to the right, and then you sucked them in, and then how ran them to the left.
I just gave him a vertical push, and then the rest of the way was great blocking. It was open field. I didn't have to do much other than hit the sideline.
You had to fake out the kicker.
Yeah, I just ran by him, and wasn't much to it.
What's your history of kick returns? Did you do a lot of that in high school before you came to A&T?
Yeah, I did kick returns and punt returns in high school.
How many touchdowns in high school?
I don't remember. A bunch. A bunch.
What's your take on the struggles with the passing attack so far? What's it going to take to get it going?
We just got to keep working at it at practice, keep repping different things, and stay confident, really, because we can't just give up on it and try to run the ball a whole bunch. We just got to keep trying.
A good question would be, are those passes working in practice?
Of course. We're repping it a whole bunch in practice, hoping that it comes to the game and works the same way it works in practice.
Was there a particular aspect of their defense you think that gave you problems of Villanova's defense, where they played you, they play a lot of zone?
No, they played man and zone. I wouldn't say it was anything particular that threw us off. We just got to find what works and get it going.
Your career transferred from Marshall at one point in time. How would you summarize your experience here at A&T since the move?
It's been great. It's the best HBCU in the nation. So it's really been a blessing to be here and be able to, play for this school.
Is there any, I know you called it the best HBCU in the nation. Are there particular things you'd like to share that, in your eyes, make it the best HBCU in the country?
No, I wouldn't say anything particular. Just, the culture, the fans, alumni, everything about that is just different than, I would say, most places.
On the punt return, once you receive the ball and you look upfield, what do you process? A lot of people who play sports, as the game slows down, you have control of it. When you look out in front of you, what do you see and how do you pick the holes where you go?
I'm just looking for the opening and really just where coach says to hit it at. And I'm looking at the blocks to see who's making the best block so I can hit it off them.
When you have to call a fair catch, does that make you mad? Or are you trying to return every ball that's kicked?
Nah, because I don't want to get us in bad field position. So I'm just trying to do what's best for the team really at that point.
You got a question earlier from the coach about your 40 speed. You know what it is?
Nah, I haven't ran one in a long time, but I'm a 4.3 guy.
4.3.
Yeah, 4.3 guy.
You said that a touchdown Saturday, you said you gave him a vertical push. Was that the scheme going into the kick, or was it something you read after you get the ball?
It's just something to throw the kicking team off so they'll go with me, and then I can break it off.
Does that work for you before?
Yeah, usually.
I know a couple of big returns for you this year. Had the one against Central, had an important time. The one this past week. When you're back there and the game is on the line, I guess what kind of goes through your head in terms of pre-kickoff, kind of your thought process and what you're looking for, and the things that come to mind?
Like I said, I'm not thinking I'm just going to take it back every time, because if it's not the right kick, I don't want to put us in bad field position. So I'm just trying to do what's best. If the blocking's there, then I'm going to take it. If that's too much hang, I'm probably going to fair catch it. Just depends.
Thank you, Mr. Cook. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Final player this afternoon, Anthony Harrison, had a big-time monster sack on Saturday. And so let's bring him up to the podium, Mr. Anthony Harrison. Questions?
How y'all doing? I'm Anthony Harrison from Greensboro, North Carolina. I play D-line.
You mentioned being a hometown guy here. What does that mean to you, playing at a university, a local school like this?
It means a lot. I get a lot of people that get to come out and watch me play, my friends and my family. They like to see me out here. So I just want to put on a show for them.
Just the defense. How have you seen this unit? Just sort of, coaches talk about confidence. Everybody wants to stay on the same page. How have you seen this unit grow throughout the season?
We're growing together. Coming every game confident that we're going to win. We don't ever doubt ourselves. Coach JD does a good job drawing it up, and we just got to execute.
Hey, describe your sack from Saturday.
Like I said, Coach JZ, he does a great job drawing it up. And when he calls these plays, we got to execute. God gave him good push. I wrapped around, and it was right there for the making.
I know, playing in Northeast, there's been a rebuild of the program. Started with a small roster just a couple years ago, and only 2 losses so far this season. Is there anything about that experience that you think, can lead toward a A&T rebound too?
Talking about the Northeast. Oh, they're doing good. I went to a couple games this year on our bye weeks, and I'm really proud of the young guys, man. They really come together, and I know they've been through a lot. COVID hit everybody different, and around our community, it was pretty hard on folks. But I'm really proud of them young kids, man. They're doing good.
You guys are going on the road. It's a tough team this week. What excites you most about going on the road and playing here?
Man, I love going on the road and playing, man. I love playing against good competition. You won't never shy away. And we just go out there and try to execute. We worry about we, us, and ours. That's what Coach tells us every day.
You play defensive end, right?
I'll play anywhere on the D-line for real. Yeah.
Would anybody on a professional level, you pattern yourself after anybody you watch learn particular techniques or moves?
Well, I can play everywhere, so I watch a lot of Quentin Williams when I'm like learning about little inside moves.
A lot of who?
Quentin Williams, and I watch
With the Jets?
yes, with the Jets. I watch a lot of Aaron Donald. I watch a lot of Aaron Donald. I like his hands, his quickness, and on the outside, I watch a lot of Von Miller.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank y'all.
All right, I think lunch has been had, so let's go ahead and transition to our radio show in a few minutes. Thank you.